Hi everyone, back to the YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Rumour Has It video. We're talking about players linked to the football club in the upcoming transfer window in January. And there's loads of names being thrown at the club at the minute. Loads of key positions that would need to be covered. The injuries to the squad, I think, so far this season has hugely highlighted that we are a bit thin on the ground. And I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done behind the scenes to fill some key positions within the squad, but also Newcastle United, especially with Dan Ashworth behind the scenes as part of this new look Newcastle United scouting committee, is always looking for hot young talent across Europe and across the world to sign Newcastle United for the next generation of superstars. And this lad we're going to talk about here is no different. So we're going to get stuck right into this in a minute. We're talking about a defender. Just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, click subscribe. I'd love you to come and join us. We're over 5,500 subscribers. So loads of room for you guys, loads of Newcastle United content. We've got match previews, post-match analysis, rants about football matters, and the Rumour Has It videos that you're just about to watch. So why not click it, subscribe? You won't regret it. Like the video if you can help the channel grow, it'll be awesome. And if you fancy it, you can be a member for just $1.99 a month, less than £2, less than a pint of lager for all this great content, and you get exclusive early access to videos. So smash that button. It's well worth checking it out. So who am I talking about? Who is he waffling on about this time? Well, I'm waffling about this lad right here. That is Radu Drăgușin. That's right. He does sound like something like Game of Thrones, and he fucking looks like it as well, because he's nicknamed the Dragon of Genoa. Just a little kind of rundown as to who he is. He's a Romanian centre-half. He came through the youth academy of Juventus, didn't quite cut the mustard there, went out on loan to Genoa, then the loan was turned into a permanent deal, I believe, last summer. And he's been in brilliant form for Genoa since he's been there. He's earned that nickname, the Dragon of Genoa. He's built like a brick shithouse. He's 6'3". He's lightning fast as well for a big lad. Really, really quick. Excellent in the air, as we're going to see in a minute, in terms of his statistics and everything else as well. And all of that at 21 years old. He's really kind of improved rapidly since Juventus kind of let him move on. And it's really caught the eye of our scouting network in terms of a player that's had such an improvement in such a short period of time. So apparently we are looking at this lad. His agent has been quoted and saying, is he going to stay at Genoa? I don't know. He said, will he stay in Italy? Probably not. He said, Newcastle offer €30 million. He said, I've been talking to Newcastle, amongst other clubs. He said, so it's most likely he's probably going to leave Serie A, but also AC Milan and Inter are interested as well. So he's playing all of his cards there, is the agent. But the fact that he's come out and name dropped Newcastle United tells me that there is something in these links. So let's have a look at the lad and see how he compares next to the beautiful, glorious defender that's Fabian Schär. So the big one is he's 10 years younger than Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär is playing the best football he's ever played in Newcastle United. These comparisons are never to knock our lads. It's just giving you an indication of how these lads are looking against some of our top performers. Fabian Schär is playing the best football of his career, hands down. But you can see there, the age difference is massive, 10 years. And the kid's improving so much as Drăgușin. What is he going to be like in 5 or 6 years' time? He could arguably be one of the best defenders in Europe, really. And if we get him for, €30 million, which is a relative snip these days for young players, just like we did with Sven Botman, just like we did with Bruno, they caught a bit more attention than Drăgușin. But, if we can get them in the early stages, we're going to save us a fortune in the transfer market. And even if you want to sell the lad on as an asset, you'll make your money back and then some. But let's look at the stats there in terms of what he's done. So 12 appearances so far this season versus Fabian Schär's 14, 2 goals and 2 assists. He does like a goal, gets in the box, brilliant in the air, aggressive, and he goes sniffing for those opportunities. He really does. So that is a good sign as well, because we don't score enough goals from set pieces and from our defensive capabilities. Jamal Lascelles is probably the most deadliest centre-half we'll have in terms of a goal scorer. Schär chips in with unbelievable strikes, normally from about 35 yards generally. But outside Lascelles, not many of them get on the end of things in the box, really. So getting to play like that in the squad would be decent. Tackles in that regard, and the same for interceptions. Blocks, he's slightly ahead of Fabian Schär. Clearances, he's slightly ahead as well. Genoa under a little bit of pressure. They're 14th in Serie A, so you've got to remember they're playing against, the Inters and the ACs and people like that. They're going to press them in Napoli's, against the likes of Victor Osimhen and guys like that. So they're going to be completely bombarded in terms of defensive capability. So he is going to have to clear quite a lot of chances that go his way. So those clearances are bound to be higher. Aerials, they're quite comparable there. 2.4 to Fabian Schär's 2.64. True tackles, Mark's favourite stat. That's all the tackles kind of combined in terms of the the standing, the slidings, and everything else. 56% for Drăgușin and 54 for Fabian Schär. So very comparable again on that. Passes per game, Schär passes the ball a lot more. We know how much he likes to take it and absorb it, spray those passes around, pinging them left, right, and centre. Drăgușin likes a ping as well. We'll see in a minute the red, amber, greens is not quite as accurate as Fabian Schär, but that will come in time. And who better to learn from if he does come into this Newcastle United squad than the master of the ping in terms of the centre-half that is Fabian Schär. So there's loads of room for improvement there. But, you know, passes and pass completions, he's up the 80 percentile. So when he is passing, he's passing quite well. Progressive passes, he's 1.2 a game. So he's way behind Fabian Schär, but still not too bad for a centre-half. Fouls, he doesn't give many fouls away. In recoveries, he's a little bit behind in Fabian Schär in that regard. And the market value there is probably not quite accurate to where we are. That was probably what it was when he was signed, probably there by Genoa. But he's much more than that now. I think, like we say, you're looking probably about 28 million in English change, 27 million or something like that, which is still a decent snip, I think, for a player of such potential. But looking at the red, amber, and greens, there is some reds in there and some oranges. So just, you know, it's something to maybe look at and bear in mind. His tackles are a little bit down, but you've got to remember this is based on, you know, all the tackles kind of, you know, over a period of time, over 365, you know, days. The tackles won again as well. The dribble as tackled isn't particularly great. Interceptions is slightly better. Blocks and clearances are slightly down. But if you look at his passes and his pass completion, they're really high. His short pass completion, nice and simple passing is really, really good as well. Key passes is quite high. Progressive carries are good. He likes to run with the ball. If you go look at clips of him on YouTube, I say he's lightning quick for a centre-half, to be fair. Gets a ball, knocks it by somebody and runs. And they can't really catch him as well, to be fair, which is really good. His touches are quite good. Doesn't make many mistakes. Doesn't get dispossessed. Doesn't foul a lot either. So there's a lot of things to work on there, I think, as a centre half. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below about Drăgușin, whether you think he'd be a good signing or not. If you know any more about them than we do, drop a comment, and we always like to engage with you. And as I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, please click subscribe. We'd love you to come and join us. We're over 5,500 subs. Loads of room for you if you fancy jumping on board this growing ever more community. It's a great crack as well in the community chat and in the lives. Everybody has a real good chat with each other. Nice and civil and friendly in our chat. Nobody's a dickhead, which is great. No dickhead policies for us. We love that. But yeah, join us, guys. Subscribe if you fancy it. If you want to be a member as well, there's a $1.99 option there as well. Smash that. You'll get early access to these kind of videos as well. If you can like the video, helps the channel grow, helps with algorithms, as Mark says. That's his computer talk as I do my fingers. I just do all the chat. But yeah, we'd love to have you on board, guys. Loads of room for you. Have a cracking day wherever you are. We're going to be back with more Rumour Has It soon. We'll see you later. Cheers.